What is the deal, YouTube? What is the deal? It is Craig Harris, the Pope of Xbox. And it is October 27, 2017. And it's a absolutely huge gaming week. We got the Mario game dropping. We've got Stranger Things dropping on Netflix. If you all are into that, yeah, I'm gonna be streaming that probably. I'll probably do that on Monday. Man, we had Assassin's Creed Origins drop for multi-plat for the PlayStation and the Xbox. We've got Wolfenstein dropping. We've had an XBOT attack. I had one attack me. Matt's Gaming he's under attack right now, by XBOTs. It's it is crazy out there. So what is going on from the left coast or the west coast to the east coast in the United States, all around the world, man? Australia, Greenland, Scotland, Germany, all over the UK. We got people in Russia watching. It is truly, we got people in Asia watching. It is truly an international audience. And I appreciate you all being here and listening because, man, what a podcast. I mean, what a day. I mean, I've been up early. Went to Walmart, got my games early this morning, started streaming. Check out my streaming. I streamed the Wolfenstein on the Pro. If you don't know, Wolfenstein on the Pro uses the Rapid Pack Math, I believe is what it's called for the PlayStation. It is the Vega architecture that's within the PlayStation. And let me tell you something, that was fun. Assassin's Creed Origins on the Pro looks fantastic, plays really well. Shout out to everybody that was watching that. That was Corey Massey dropped by, Spartan God dropped by, J-Dub dropped by. Just everybody that dropped by made comments. I appreciate it. On both of them, by the way. There were several people that watched both streams. Stranger Days is on right now. If you all want to watch that on Netflix, I'm a big fan of that. But I grew up in the 80s. So what's going on? What's going on, Mo? So this is a great day to be a gamer. Today was like the day to be the gamers that we are. This is the day that we live for. You got new hardware dropping with the Xbox X in a couple, about a week from now. 10 days from now, 2 weeks. So, but what is going on? But let me start out by, I got to defend Matt's Gaming because he's under attack by Xbox. I left a link in the description down here. He left a video. He's running a video on his podcast of Assassin's Creed, a screen versus screen for Pro versus Xbox X, and the Pro version looks better. All right, in some aspects it does, and some it doesn't. And you have the Xbox community; they're just screaming at him, saying that this is not the Xbox X version. This is the Xbox version, and I'm not saying and they're just going nuts. They're just absolutely going nuts on him, and it's unfortunate because if you don't know this, you can actually watch the 4K broadcast, the Assassin's Creed Origins, like right now. I put a podcast out there, our broadcast. It's going to be in 1080p. There's also a PC podcast. I mean, you watch it in 4K. You got a 4K TV, so make sure you guys are watching that in 4K. But I can confirm, and people saw this themselves when I was playing. I took control of that Eagle and flew the Eagle around so people could see the landscape, see the draw distances, see the coloring, and everybody was saying it looked really good. And what's up, Guardian Legends? And also the best comment was Spartan God, who I guess he saw Assassin's Creed on the Xbox X 2 days ago in California. at Microsoft's thing. They, you know, scheduled event they had out there, and they he said it looked a little. He said the Xbox X looks brighter. You know, so I changed my TV screen to dynamic, and it looked brighter. And he did say that it looked a little better on the X. I mean, the X is doing a little bit more, you know, and it should. It's got more power and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, and again, the overall experience, because it's going to have Dolby Atmos support, things like that. That's reality. Okay, that's just a reality. That game should look a little bit better. It's not going to be a paradigm shift in what they're doing, but overall he saw it. Okay, he saw it, and so in each one of them, I guess next week gets a update. So the Xbox X will get its textures and HDR, and I believe the Pro gets HDR stuff because it did not have HDR going on it. So I'm talking about Assassin's Creed, but I played Assassin's Creed. You can move your character just like you do on the other Assassin's Creed. What has changed is the combat. The combat is I got to get used to that combat. They're trying to make it more like The Witcher. All right, they're trying to make it similar to The Witcher. Remember, they made this game to combat The Witcher. What's going on, Route 49? Well, they make this game like The Witcher to combat The Witcher, I guess I should say, and that's what it's trying to rival. And I played for an hour, give or take, just from my little 1 hour play. It doesn't play. It's not as fluid. The combat isn't as fluid as The Witcher. You still have to. It'll say hit the 0 button or hit O. You know, hit R1. So it doesn't have that natural feel of The Witcher, which was, I think, on PlayStation. You hit the square button to block. You hit or parry. And you would just hit the circle button to, I forgot what it was now on Witcher. It's been a while. You have to lock on the people. So in that aspect, if you're going to go through the game, it looks like if you're going to go through Assassin's Creed and just do stealth, it's really got that down. You got some cool weapons. You know, you do have RPG upgrade capability. You have to grind for stuff. So that's why I'm not going to get into the whole loot box, loot crate thing. You already know about that. Talked about that till the day is green. You know, either you don't need to do loot boxing, but if you do need to do loot boxing, if you don't do loot boxing, you're going to be grinding it out for a while, just so you know. And just so you know, that's for everybody that plans on buying that game. Let's see here. Moving on here, but Assassin's Creed, yeah, I've had fun with it. I'm gonna jump back on it probably later tonight. Later tonight, I'll jump back on. So, but we're moving on here. It was the one, the only. It was yeah, you're right, yeah. So what's going on out there? But let's move on here. Wolfenstein, probably the biggest game, is because of the rapid pack math that it is supposed to use on PlayStation Pro. Well, it ran buttery smooth. Buttery smooth. So so I got no problem with the way that game played. So Sony has delivered on the Vega architecture, rapid pack math. That works fine. So all the people, what's up, Savage? All the people who are running around out there saying that it's a lie, that it's and I'll get back onto some other stuff on Assassin's Creed. Everybody who saw it was a lot said rapid pack math wasn't going to work, that it was garbage, and that it was it was something Sony was trying to say to this. It's true. I mean, I played that game, and again, I didn't have any frame per second issues. I'm not here to say they weren't there. I had a good time. It is what it is. You know, it's a good game. It's Wolfenstein, for crying out loud. So everybody go out and enjoy it. Assassin's Creed did not have a 1080p 60 mode on the PlayStation Pro. All right. Now, I don't know if anybody knows if they're going to get a 1080p 60 mode on Xbox X. I can confirm that there was nothing about that on the gameplay screen. So it's just, that's a reality. So we'll have to wait and see what it does get on Xbox X. I know it's going to get some overlay 4K stuff, textures. Still nothing about 1080p 60, and I don't know why that's such a big deal, because I can play Metal Gear 5 at 1080p 60. Okay, that's a reality, guys. That's just a reality. So I can confirm that there's nothing that on the PlayStation Pro that allows you to switch it to 1080p 60. We'll just have to wait and see about the X. We'll know in 7-10 days. So we're gonna find out. So, but as far as the rapid, as far as going back to Wolfenstein, as far as the rapid pack math, that worked fine. So anybody, the low 20s, well, Xbox S, yeah, that's to be expected. It's a console. Again, if you want lock frame per second, game on PC. Game on PC. So it dropped on the Pro. I mean, at least the frame rate test I saw. So, the frame rate test I saw, it dropped to like 25 on the Pro, which isn't horrible because of the dynamic scaling. It came right back up, but it's a console. So you doubt it's going to be a 60. Well, we have to wait and see. Remember, Ubisoft allegedly told somebody that it was going to be 1080p 60, so we have to wait and see. So let this wait and see. But the rapid pack math stuff is really, I guess it's really good, because the game was smooth as hell. And everybody needs to understand, you can set your TV to get different pictures, and I'm gonna give a shout out to the 4K upscaler, because he's called Mr. 4K Upscaler, because he will sit there and he will change his settings, in your television to get the best picture. So if you want to know what the best picture for the games are for your TV, and then he'll do it for like LG, maybe Sony or Samsung. I'm gonna tweet him later to see if he'll set it for Samsung, because I have a Samsung. But it's both these games look really good. Now I got a beef with Assassin's Creed, because that's the lightest skinned Egyptian person I've ever seen in my life. Don't get me started. I'm just saying it was that was disappointing. That was disappointing. But overall, because especially back then, they were dark. There's a reason why a lot of the people you see on the pyramids and in their drawings, they're dark, like ebony dark. So what's going on, Trey BK? You listening from Orlando, Florida? Cool. Now let me ask you all this right now. Who is ready for the first annual the first annual screen stream of me doing this Hellblade in a few more hours? Because the PayPal will be open, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put on my headset, and I'm not going to be able to talk to you all during the game. Okay? I will not be able to talk during the game. Just so you know. I will be trying to play the game. But shout out to everybody that's going to be watching. That's going to be 3 p.m. Eastern time. And just shout out to everybody watching. So, and shout out to anybody who wants to donate anything during that podcast to the PayPal, because that's going to be funny anyway. So, but shout out to everybody. Oh, what's going on, Trey? But so yeah, so rapid pack math is working. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that game, Wolfenstein, at all. It's a pretty cool game. You go around shooting Nazis, so it's fun. I'm having a ball with. I had a ball with it. I'll be jumping back on that, I'm sure. And so what else is going on? Yes, Assassin's Creed is a cool game. From what I could tell, it's a big game. There's a lot going on in one area. You won't be able to hear. No, I'll have my headset on, but I will not be able to talk during the game because I will be trying to play the game. So, but I'll have my headset on, but I'll be going off. I mean, I can tell you right now. So you'll be able to hear the frustration. Trust me, that's part of the entertainment. So I don't know. I'm not hating Mario. People who've gotten the Mario game, if they think Mario's game, did they get a 10 out of 10? And a shout out to Foxy Games. He said that the Mario game is the best game he's ever played. And he could be a little bit of hyperbole there, but he said that this morning. So big shout out to everybody that bought that game. That's why do you think Kratos ain't here? Kratos went to go get iPhone 10, I can tell you that. And but I'm wanting to see if he can do a podcast maybe later tonight. We can talk about all these games with you all. So it's not a 10. Okay, well, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. So, but yeah, if I had to switch, that's what I would be playing. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. So, oh yeah, Spartan guy, yeah. That was silly. That kind of made me laugh earlier. Yeah, 1440p makes you a better gamer in 4K. But I need to know. I need to say yes. I need to see some yes or no's. Who's going to watch the Hellblade Scream stream that I'm going to do at 3 o'clock? So I just need to know. So you had the iPhone X dev kit. Cool. I thought it was out today. Didn't it come out today? So I'm building this out. It is. Yeah, Mario. Everything. Mario started out in the arcades. Donkey Kong. That's the first Mario game I played. So it's called Donkey Kong, but Mario was trying to climb the ladder. So you watch all the streams. Good. Okay. Well, I don't know. That's going to be a 3 to 4 hour stream, though. So because that's a 3 to 7 stream. But like I said, I'm ready to do it. I just wanted to make sure people are going to be there to watch it because I don't want to stream that and nobody's getting entertained. Part of the reason I'm doing it for 2 reasons. One, because everybody wants me to. That's the main reason. But shout out to Andrew Wilkins. So too late. It's 3 a.m. UK time. So what time is it? What is it? Midnight over there right now? Yeah, Donkey Kong. Yeah, going to the arcades. You had Pac-Man. You had Pac-Man. You had Dragon's Quest, and you had Donkey Kong. Those are the games. So yeah, that's how I remember going to arcades and plunking quarters in. So. Omen operating system. Yeah, I can't afford that Omen operating system. So, I mean, but if anybody wants to donate to my PayPal, I'll be happy to get the Omen operating system. So, yeah, 5:45. It's 5:45 right now. Well, in 3 hours, it's going to be 2 hours actually. So it's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning. Or it's going to be 7 o'clock then. Wait a minute. 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. It's going to be 8 o'clock at night when I start your time, Dion. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. European time for everybody that's in Europe that's watching, and 3 o'clock Eastern Seaboard time. So, yeah, he's in England. Yeah, because if it's 5:45 right now, and I'm gonna start streaming it in 2 hours. So yeah. So So 9:48 in Portland. So yeah, that's going to be noon your time. Yeah, it's 12:50. Yeah, so 3 o'clock your time, Robert. So yeah. So hold on. Let me put my link up here for anybody who would want to donate during the Scream stream. And again, this is my first annual stream, and I'll be the one screaming. So you don't have to scream. You all can just laugh. So that anybody wants to donate, whether it's $1 or whatever you want to throw, I appreciate it, and hopefully everybody enjoys that. But all right, so let me get back to Stranger Things. That's out on Netflix. That dropped today or earlier this morning. And so I'll be watching that. Hopefully I get enough donations to be able to watch some Netflix. But again, the first 10 goes to Netflix. The rest of it will go to me getting the all the stuff, the motherboard for the PC. And so yeah, that ought to be fun too. But that's where that's going. Paris week, yeah, that'll be covered probably in depth. Hopefully later tonight if I can get in touch with Kratos. So I'm wanting to see if he wants to do a podcast later tonight. So that way he has time to play his games and mess around with his iPhone. We can talk about Paris game week. So I'll be hollering. I know that during this game because it's got puzzles and I do not want to play puzzles. So but I'm gonna get through it. Try to get through it. So you all can expect me to have all kind of language problems on that stream. So I apologize ahead of time. So just so you know. Yeah, I think he went to go get iPhone 10 today. If that's it, I think. So, matter of fact, let me tweet him to see if he's going to be available later on to talk about these games. Let's see here. And if you all don't know, the Scorpio edition, Matt's Gaming tweeted out earlier. Shout out to Matt's Gaming. He tweeted out Scorpio editions are still available. Told you all they were. You know, come on, guys. You know, you got to remember who you're talking to, the Pope of Xbox now. So, and I'm the one that told you guys that, I don't know what, like 6 weeks ago? But they're out for you guys if you still want the Scorpio edition. So, and shout out to everybody that's buying that up front. You know, great news for you guys. I'm going to tweet Kratos right now. Let's see here. Hey, bro. Yeah. Yes, later tonight to talk about these games and iPhone X and Paris Games Week. Well, and I will not be able to be on the gamer couch this week. Because I have to work Sunday for me. So yeah, right. No, nobody's gonna donate that much. So I don't know what an HP Omen is, but it sounds expensive. So I know that's my bills in. I've got that coming, so you all don't have to do that. So yeah, you know, just donate if you want to. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm gonna play for 4 hours, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So I'll be finished 1 a.m. English time. That's when I'll stop playing. So I'm gonna play. It said it's a beast. Well, it must be. So if it's called Omen, yeah, it must be a beast because it's an omen to my wallet. Put it like that. I sent the motherboard back because I just want them to. You can actually have them. You can actually have that. I didn't know this. You can actually have like Newegg. They will put the CPU into the motherboard for you. So I'm buying one with that already coming together because I do not want to deal with the CPU and lining that up correctly. And if it comes to me ready to go and all I have to do is put the screws around, I'm good. I can do that. So wait, Hellblade, you said, yeah, 3 p.m. Hellblade. It's my first annual Scream stream. So it's a Halloween Scream stream because I got to work Monday. They got to work Monday and Tuesday. So I won't be able to stream anything on Halloween. So I'm doing it this weekend. So 4 hours of Hellblade today. Try to get some more of it in, and then Sunday night 4 more hours, probably after I get off work. So that's the plan, Sunday or Monday, for me to try to finish the game. So okay, so yeah, so Hellblade, yeah, but I'm sure it's a beast. But that's what's going on with the motherboard. So I ordered it, got it, sent it back because I want the CPU to be part of it. So that's what I'm doing. Look up Omen. Yeah, I'm doing that. The changing the lights is not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Mine is going to be like orange, blue, green, It's something like that. It's got four or five different colors on it. So, you know, but that's that. So, well, let me get back to this XBOT attack because I'm really going to focus on something that I think has gone over a lot of people's heads. So, I think they're under the impression that Sony came out last year in New York when they unveiled the Pro and said they were going to concentrate on 4K native gaming and 4K textures, okay? And Sony never said that. And this is not me damage controlling. This is just that I never understood why people kept going back to the Xbox people going back to saying, well, it can do this, this, and this, and Sony doesn't have it. And I thought, okay, did Sony say that they were going to be able to that they were going to do this, and then they just didn't deliver on it. So when I went back and watched the actual unveiling, which I barely got through because Mark Cerny, my God, I mean, he's the smartest man. He's forgotten more than I'll ever know, but my God, I mean, I was asleep halfway through again. But Sony never did say anything about achieving 4K native on any games, nor did they say anything about 4K textures. Okay, Microsoft came out last E3 and said they were going for this. They were going to do 4K. Their target was 4K. You know, that was their target. And yeah, it looks like they've hit their target. Let's just give them I give them a bunch of credit for what they've done with this system. And again, the system is roughly the same size as the Xbox One S. It's a little bit thicker, but overall is Sony is yeah, he's good, but he put me to sleep talking like that. But so you got two different companies doing two different things. I had this Xbox guy. I don't know if you all remember the podcast that I did with Iron Wolf and Kratos. We'll be on tonight. Let me punch the time in here. So we're going to do a Porch Light podcast at 10 p.m. time. That'll be 9 o'clock his time. So let me put the time in. I'll put 10 p. EST, 9 p. CST question mark. So, but I really think I did not understand why they keep saying that it can do this and the Sony system can't, but the Sony never targeted the same thing. Microsoft targeted something totally different. So, okay, so that I'll set that up. All right, so there's going to be a podcast tonight at 10 p.m., guys. Shout out to Kratos for agreeing. We're going to talk about Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, and iPhone 10, and Mario, because he's got it. So how can I not believe what the engineer says? I mean, it's not that I didn't believe him. It was just that I went back thinking I missed something. Because I'm like, hey, look, if Sony actually said they were going to do 4K native, 4K textures on the Pro, they didn't, but they didn't. Okay, the Xbox, this guy was acting, I'm like, dude, look, you're talking to me like Sony actually made a promise of 4K native gaming. I don't remember them saying this, but if they did, then now they haven't delivered. So, and we just found out about the rapid pack math, like 2 to 3 months ago. So, the highest resolution, the best frame rates, they were talking out of their ass when it comes to frame rates. Well, the frame rates have gotten better through boost mode, but they're not locked. So, okay, Sam Walton, PG Hood. All right, yeah, I'll add you. So yeah, so look for my thing here in the next hour. So the Pro has ability, keywords. Yeah, it has the ability. Yeah. I mean, again, they never said that you were going to get 4K native. I mean, they didn't say it. So I don't understand why they're running back, why he was running back comparing. And ultimately what it comes down to is they want to be able to say this thing has something that you don't have. Sony does not need to do any advertising because these front row riders was That was a quote from Microsoft. What quote? Their highest. Oh, really? Well, I mean, about this. Well, boost mode for PlayStation does help with the frame rate. So PS4 Pro, yeah. You all are confusing me over there. iPhone is trash. Okay, well, I didn't buy one, so I don't have that kind of money laying around. So, but anybody, I know you have those plans, iPhone for life, stuff like that. So, and look, Steve Jobs, rest in peace. May God rest his soul. He always knew there was a group of people that were going to pay a certain amount of money so that they could go ahead and do that. So, yeah, blue cases are better. Yeah, there were some. Yeah, that was pretty funny. But again, getting back to what I was saying. So what this XBOT was on the attack. I mean, it was like a 6-hour. It was an attack. It was like all day yesterday. And oh, we are okay. Cool. Did you ever do a PC podcast? No, not yet. Not yet. Matter of fact, this was supposed to be the week to start it. I will probably start that. I got to get 1, 2. So if you want to be on there, yeah, we can go ahead and maybe look to do that next week. Because Savage has said he will be able to do it, and then I needed one more person. So, and they're hard to find. So, but yeah. So this Xbox guy, he was just going through it about what it can do, and I'm like, why are you trying to sell this thing? I mean, everybody knows what it can and cannot do. It's going to do a little bit more, and it should, because it's, again, I said, you're comparing a console that's coming out in 2017, coming out roughly 1 year later with newer technology to something that came out in 2016. I said, man, that makes no sense, and so it's just a reality. So that sounds better when I say that. Yeah, well, I didn't know who it was, and yeah, I did end up calling him a front row rider. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean, because it makes no sense. I mean, I have an Xbox. I know what the Xbox can do. I will get an Xbox One X when there's more value based on the system, i.e. more software. So that's why, and that's what I said last week on a podcast. That's what I said on Porter Rock. Shout out to Porter Rock. That's what I said on 60 Frames No Lag. Hey, look, the fact that I can go back and play Fallout, and the fact that I can go ahead and play Oblivion now with a possible 4K build, with an upgraded build, that's big for me because I love both those games. I mean, I loved it, but that's just going 2 feet in with the Xbox X. So I'm happy. I can kill a rat in Fallout now with that pipe in 4K. So that's 2 people. That's 2 games going to let me kill a rat. So, I mean, what else? I love it. So, so it's, yeah, they just stopped. Yeah, they that's what he said. He said said something about they've been down for the last 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not, I don't understand that. I mean, they're looking for validation, and I just don't understand that. I mean, to me, if you went out and you cut somebody's lawn or painted a fence for some extra money to get an Xbox, you don't need to validate anything. You walking into the store or ordering it online, that's validation enough. That's enough validation for me. Yeah, they boycotted Titanfall 2. Yeah, I mean, again, they're stupid, and it's not all of them. It's just 5% of them. But overall, it's like they're trying to sell the system. And it's like, look, the system will sell itself. That's what sells, okay? The system will sell itself. The Xbox didn't sell as much as the PlayStation because the PlayStation gave people a like experience, a similar enough experience to the Xbox, and it was $100 cheaper. That's it. Then you add the other stuff to it. So you have the price, which is everything. Price is what gets you to even look at something and buy it. Then you have the ecosystem, and they had games come out like, Infamous Second Son, if you like that type of game. Killzone, if you like that type of game. They had a couple sports games come out. Little Big Planet came out. The Order 1886. All this came out. You know, No Man's Sky came out. All these games came out within 16 months of the launch. So they had just enough out there to hold on them, for Sony to hold on. Just enough. I mean, they didn't have a ton. They had just enough. And then the big multi-plats came out, whether it was The Division or whether it was, The Division, you had Witcher 3, you know, all those games came out, you know, so. But this guy was just in attack mode, and this is on a video that was done 2.5 months ago about the Rapid Pack Math, and it just popped up. Because what you all got to understand is that I read all the comments, okay? Because and here's why I do it. Because I think if somebody is going to take enough time to sit down or whatever and leave a comment, I should read the comment. Okay, that's just me trying to be professional. So if you're going to leave a comment, if you're going to stop by, listen to the podcast, or however you want to do it, I will read your comment. Okay, so I see every comment that is left, all of them. I don't respond to all of them, but I do see them. So, it's like this guy was trying to sell the console. You know, and the PlayStation doesn't do this, and it's like, you do understand, and it's like, okay. So again, let me put this on me, because I thought Sony had come out during their press conference and said that the Pro was going to do 4K textures. It was going to do 4K native. And then when I went back and now I can verify, they never said that. They even came out as much to say that they believe you need 8 T-flops, or whatever a T-flop is. You need minimum 8 T-flops to maintain 4K native with some of these larger open world games that a lot of these developers are wanting to move to. They want the games to be more open world, so that, and you've seen why, so that they can go ahead and give you the loot crate or whatever you want to call it, microtransactions, to keep you in that ecosystem. It's just, that's a reality, okay? That's just, okay. That's just the reality of it. So when these Xbox guys are like, well, the Xbox X does 4K textures. So okay, that's what they targeted. So that's fine. It's just like Ducati releasing a new motorcycle that they say is going to be able to do 200 miles an hour. You know, they say you open this thing up, go full throttle, you get to 200 miles an hour, period. Okay. And then that's exactly what happens. Okay. Why are you surprised? Phil Spencer came out on stage in 2016 at E3 and said they are going to target 4K. That means 2160p. He didn't say 4K native. That was the 5% front row riders who said all our games are going to be 4K native, and it's going to have the Ryzen Vega CPU. I mean, that's the truth. Microsoft never said they were going to have that stuff in that system. So you had a group of people speaking, and then everybody followed that group because that's what they wanted the system to do. So I can see if Sony came out in 2016 and said, the PlayStation Pro is designed to hit 4K native on our games, and it is going to be able to download 4K textures. That's what we want it to do. But Sony never said that. They just said pretty much that they will be able to give you a higher resolution, higher fidelity, and with HDR, you're going to be able to see better, you're going to see better picture quality, things like that. Well, that wasn't really proven until Horizon Zero Dawn came out, again, built ground up for the PlayStation. Mass Effect built, has HDR on it. So all that came to fruition earlier this year. Neo is 1080, has a 1080p mode. You know, they were able to give games performance modes and other modes. They did it with Crystal Dynamics, did it with Rise of the Tomb Raider. You know, you got a 4K mode that's checkerboarded. Digital Foundry has said themselves that the checkerboarding mode on the PlayStation, for the price that the PlayStation is a good build. That's from Digital Foundry. They said it's a really good, they said it's a good value build for what you're getting. You're paying $399, you're getting 4K, you're getting you get better sound, and it's Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's a good game. It's a real good game. So, you know, so I just I don't understand why this guy was saying this. So I do not understand. You can't hear anything. Can anybody else hear? So, you know, I'm just asking. You may want to jump out and jump back in, Halo. So I'm not for sure what's going on. So when IGN asked Sony would games be native, Sony's answer was, I'm pretty sure the games we've seen, most will be checkerboarded. Yeah, that sounds like something they would say. Yeah, some games are 4K native. Okay, some, but that's not the majority because that's not what Sony targeted. So you're right. Okay, cool. Everybody else can hear. All right. So that's my point. But this guy was acting like Sony said something that, you know, or Sony promised something that they just didn't deliver on. Now, Xbox targeted 4K. That's a reality. They targeted it, and now they didn't target 4K native. They just said 4K. I walked away for a little bit. They targeted 4K. They came up with this line of true 4K, which is garbage. There's no such thing as true 4K. But then they went on to tell you what it was. Hey, if we hit the 2160p buffer, we're going to consider it 4K. Consider that 4K, and that's like, all right, so they don't care if it's native, dynamic, checkerboarded, or sparse. Okay. Now, most of their games are checkerboarded, which checkerboarding is something that's been done in the PC realm for years. The PC community has been using that for years. It's just now that it's just now that they're able to do that the console developers are starting to do it. So it does do a little bit more, but it should. It should do a little bit more. It's more powerful. So that's not a surprise to me. I think what people were expecting was a paradigm shift in the graphics, and it's just not going to happen. Not yet. Let me make that clear. Let me caveat that by saying not yet. So what's happened is they're now walking things back. I mean, they are walking things back. So, and that's what they should have just never put themselves out there in the first place. That's why I said, you know what, you know, it's we'll just wait and see what they can deliver on. Now they just got a Destiny announcement, and they're not even talking about that. But shout out to Randall Thor, he did, and shout out to Matt's Gaming. Those are the guys in the 95%. Okay, they're in the 95%. So these other cats are just bitching. I mean, I don't understand why they're just complaining about stuff. So, you know, and but the complaint comes from a word that I didn't even even think about. The word is called relevancy. And they were really to a point where, and again, think about it. In 2015, Microsoft moved all its games, all of them, to Windows. At that point, Xbox became irrelevant. To a lot of people, it became irrelevant, and their fan base has been reacting to the sensation of feeling irrelevant. Now, to me, it's never been irrelevant. So, Phil Spencer comes out last year, and to make it more relevant, they put a UHD player in there. They let you stream 4K. It does dynamic 4K upscaling. That re-energizes the entire thing. That gets everything else going. So I agree. The Switch is, and I said that to him. I said, you keep talking about power. Can you explain the Nintendo Switch and why it's selling so well as it's the least most powerful system? It does, however, have a bunch of exclusive games. And he came back with something about, well, exclusive games are 90% don't sell hardly, and it's only 90%. It's 90% of people buy the multiplats, and they don't really buy the exclusives. I said, really? I said, well, Xbox, OG Xbox, launched with games like Halo. They launched with games like Splinter Cell, Knights of the Old Republic, all exclusive games. And I put a question mark. Yes, Star Citizen, I believe, uses a checkerboard. It is 1440p. I think it's 1440p, but it's on PC. You can go as high as you want. But I know it's Citizen Con, or what it's called. Yeah, Star Con or Citizens Con, they called it. That was 1440p, 60 frames per second you were looking at. So, but a lot of PC games use, a lot of the Sid Meier's games that he uses, real-time strategy games, The Sims, that's all checkerboarded. So, so they're acting like, again, they have this whole thing of, you've got, that they have something you don't have, even though that was never promised. You see what I'm saying? It's silly. I've just gotten to a point where, just imagine the DC movie that's coming out, Justice League. I saw Justice League the other night. Now I'm under NDA, so I can't tell you about the movie. Just imagine you've seen the poster for Justice League. You've seen the previews for Justice League. You've not seen Green Lantern, okay? You've not seen the Green Lantern in there, okay? I'm just picking a random DC character. All right, our Green Arrow. You haven't seen Green Arrow in the movie. In the trailer, he's not being confirmed in the movie. Just imagine walking out of that movie and somebody saying, well, didn't have the Green Arrow in there. And it's like, well, the Green Arrow was never supposed to be in there. Oh, well, you know what? The such and such has got the greenness in there. That's what they sound like. They sound like a bunch of DC fans. They sound like a bunch of DC fans. Okay? So I just don't understand why they're making I don't understand why they are making console comparisons to consoles that aren't even out in the same year. They didn't even come out in the same year. I can't even see if the Pro came out at the beginning of this year. Okay, if say the Pro came out in April of 2017 and then 6 months later, Microsoft launches their console. Okay, at least they're in the same year. Now, before you say, well, they're in the same business year, you would be right about that. They're launching Q4, but I've never understood. I didn't understand that, but because you see, to me, that makes no sense because Microsoft targeted 4K, Sony did not. Okay, Microsoft provided a architectural framework for developers to be able to get higher resolutions, possibly better, but they failed on the frame rate side. They're like, all right, we'll stick to 30, okay, which to me is fine. It's a console. So that's fine, okay? And what it's going to do is the older games that they're going to make 4K, like Fallout, Oblivion, whatever other games they got on their list, those games will move up now. Their frame rates will go from whatever they were, 18 frames, maybe they'll go up to 25 to 30. That's great news. That is great news. So, and instead of them celebrating that, like I'm celebrating it, like Randall Thor, shout out to him, he celebrated it. Like my man Jay Fonz, he'll celebrate something like that. All these cats that are in the 95% of the Xbox community, we're happy about something like this. They're bitching. They're complaining about it. Like I said, go back to the DCEU. Justice League is coming out in 2.5 weeks. Just imagine them bitching about not having certain characters in there. It's like you got Wonder Woman, you got Superman, Batman, you got the Flash. Why, Aquaman, why are you bitching? So, and it's just, that's what DC, that's what they're doing. They're complaining right now. You can go to a DC fan website, they're bitching. Right now, as I speak, they're bitching over there. They were just bitching 25 minutes ago before I did this podcast, started it, bitching. You can watch Popcorn Movie Talk. Shout out to them. They're bitching. Okay, you can watch DC Film News. Those guys, they're bitching. And it's just like, damn, they got Joss Whedon. I mean, it's to a point where it's becoming comedy. These guys are just going to become comedy relief. And I know as Pope of Xbox, what we have done is we've really marginalized these guys and put them out in the field where they needed to be, because there's no reason for them to be complaining. Again, all Sony has to do is listen to one of their podcasts and then just say, okay, here's our advertising, because these guys have said nothing about the Xbox and they're comparing it to Sony. So congratulations for helping Sony advertise. That's why when you go to their podcast, because they monetize them, you always see Sony commercials, don't you? You do, because they talk Sony all the time. So, yeah, to me, them getting a Xbox, getting a Microsoft, getting Bungie to do a enhanced build for their game. Oh, man, I can't think of the name of the game now. Good God almighty. Destiny 2. That's big news. That's big gaming news, okay? They're not talking about it, are they? No, they're not. So, there's a reason why, as far as the super sampling and AA and all that kind of stuff, a friend of mine's got a 1080p TV. He's getting an Xbox X, and he's going to wait to buy his 4K TV next year because he's thinking of the super sampling is going to help. It's going to be better. And it is. It's going to help. It's going to do a little bit more. And so if you have a 1080p TV, you do not have to run out and buy a 4K TV. But Microsoft has done so far, now they got another week to do it. Microsoft has done a bad job with marketing the whole 1080p thing with their system. So that's no diss on Microsoft. They've actually just not done a good job. So, and that's bad because more people have 1080p TVs than 4K TVs. So, but what the F is this? This is Craig's Corner, and you are with the Pope of Xbox. So I just do not understand why in the world, or I did not understand why in the world they were still complaining, and the fact that the fact is that they truly think, or they thought, okay, that Sony must have come out and said they were targeting 4K native. Sony has said they're targeting 4K native with the PS5. That will be a system that I would fully expect them to try to hit 4K native with their games. I fully expect them to be at 1440p with those games too. And they're going to move away from 1080p and target 1440p. That's what I've been told. Okay, that's what I have been told about the PlayStation 5. 1440p, 60 frames per second, mid to high settings on all games, are 4K high settings at 60 frames per second. That's what they are legitimately are trying to target. There's another chipset coming out in a couple of weeks, and then the chipsets that are out now will drop. They probably will have a form of Ryzen in there. And they already have Vega architecture. Okay, they already have Vega architecture with the Pro. How do I know they have Vega architecture? One, has been confirmed by Sony. Number two, the Rapid Pack math has been confirmed on Wolfenstein, and I streamed that a few hours ago, and you all saw it. So that's a good thing. Okay, so the GPU, that's what they're waiting on. They've already made up their mind about the CPU. So But it's unfortunate that it's unfortunate because so when you have like Spartan, the almighty Spartan God in here who saw the PlayStation and he saw the Xbox X version of the Assassin's Creed. Now I assume that he saw the up-to-date version, meaning he saw the best version that because Microsoft's not going to put out their worst version of the game for you to come look at. For them to say, well, this is the Xbox X version, but we don't have this, we don't have that. So, and according to him, now, all right, Spartan guy, really quick, I wanted to ask you, the version of Assassin's Creed Origins you saw on the Xbox X in California, did that have all the stuff they were supposed to have? Or were they holding anything back? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. So, so he can answer that real quick. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with checkerboard rendering. See, the PC people, the PC community knows that a lot of their games have been checkerboarded. So, I mean, I do not know because I already, the developers already said that the game was, yes, they were holding back HDR and texture back. Okay, so even though they held back the HDR and I know it doesn't have HDR, so the version that you okay, so we don't even have the HDR texture pack on the Pro. I mean the HDR pack. So you got the game at its base level looks real good. It's still 4K. It's still dynamic. You all saw it being streamed. So, the game looked wonderful without. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I saw it this morning. So I just do not understand. It's going to do a little bit more, and people got to get over that. And it should, because it's more powerful and it costs more. So yeah, if it costs more, it's more powerful. It should have a bigger difference, and I think it will 2 years from now when the developers get more in tune with what it can and cannot do. So, they're working on another Halo game. They're working on a Gears game. We're going to get a 4K Horizon game. They've already said that Horizon, the driving game, Forza Horizon. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking forward to those games, but to think that they're going to be, oh my goodness, Mm-hmm. It looks good on Xbox and Pro. Yeah, it does. It does. Well, I know it looks good on the Pro because I've got it. I was just playing it a few hours ago. So, so Knights of the Old Republic is 4K with 1080p textures. Okay. Well, I'm buying that. I mean, I'm buying Knights of the Old Republic. So that'll be the first game I buy for the OG Xbox. If they do Splinter Cell, if they do the first 3 Splinter Cells, even better. And then, my goodness, can you imagine if they do if they go back with BioWare through EA and do Mass Effect? Like I said, that's why I'm waiting. If they do that and they say, okay, we know Mass Effect Andromeda is a hot mess, but here's all 3 Mass Effects with the DLC. Why can't I get? You can get KOTOR because my PC ain't gonna be ready, and KOTOR only costs like $6, so I'm not breaking my bank. I can afford $6, so I'm good. That's in my price range. So, I didn't know it was free though on PC, but that's why. And I'm still waiting till next year to get KOTOR. So, but I do want to play that again. Man, I want to play that again. They got that game out just in time because that movie comes out in like 6 weeks. So that's real good, So that's a now they don't have KOTOR 2, but you got to figure they're going to do KOTOR 2 as well. That's a BioWare game, okay, developed for Microsoft. So here's hoping that if we buy that game, we can do Mass Effect as well. That's another reason I'm buying it. Plus, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I want it right now. So, that's about all I can say. wide, hold on. Didn't change assets, just higher resolution. It was probably harder to change the assets, but that's fine. I mean, seeing those lightsabers in 4K will provide me with great pleasure. And again, KOTOR is a great game, and it was an exclusive game. You see how they talk exclusives are okay, are good, because, when it suits them, and that's the whole thing. It's either the exclusives are good or they're not good. It can't be either or. So, shadow of transactions, yeah. So, and again, instead of them being excited like I am, I'm more excited for that game coming to the Xbox than any of them. I've not seen one podcast where it was mentioned. None. Okay, so, and it's just that, but that's where they are. Okay, that's where they are. So that's disappointing. So, it's not a surprise. It is disappointing. He can be either grown up, he can be wherever he wants to be. So he can be wherever he wants to be. So that's all I can say. But but I just don't know, but I did not. Let me make sure I make this clear. I did not understand why they kept saying the Xbox X can do 4K textures and for more 4K native things, only because that's what Microsoft targeted. Okay, so they were able to hit their target. Sony Pro never targeted 4K native nor 4K texture packs. Okay, that's just a reality. Okay, it's just like you're not going to see. I can't say. Let's just say you're not going to see. I don't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi in the new Star Wars movie. He's not been cast. He's not going to be in the movie. You're not going to see him in Rogue One. So, it is what it is. So, I just don't get it. You're comparing. The guy was comparing two different systems meant to do two different things in 2 different years. That doesn't add up. To me, it doesn't add up. So, but yeah, there's plenty of Xbox guys. Shout out to Triple Cup Chuck and All Day, because they just play their games. They're not on YouTube bitching. Okay, they're just not. I mean, they're playing their games. Play your games, enjoy them. Like Fox says, play games, not corporations. So it's just, I did not understand it, but now I do. So obviously they're under the impression that Sony at 4.2 T-flops, being able to get native 4K games, that is amazing on its own. Okay, with just 4.2 T-flops, they're getting native 4K on a lot of games. They're just kind of like, they're racing games and stuff like that. With 4.2 T-flops, they have a better looking racing game than Forza 7 on a maxed out Ultra PC, according to Digital Foundry. Okay, not according to me. They did that with 4.2 T-flops, which brings me back. I'm going to close this segment out to what Warrior Ward again said to Randall Thor. Shout out to both those gentlemen. Do y'all really think a first-party Sony game is going to look better or worse than a third-party game on the Xbox X? Now, I mean, Sony still got some big hitters coming out. They still got Spider-Man. They still got the God of War. They still got Days Gone. They still got Detroit Become Human, who, shout out to Matt's Gaming, said was the best looking game he saw at Warsaw when he was at the conference there. So, so, well, that's fine. Messa Reese, that's fine. That's all opinion. I'm not going to argue what you think looks better. The fact that the GT Sport game can even be in the same conversation with a game on an ultra setting PC, that alone, forget about it being on the Xbox X. I didn't mention that. That game is being compared to a PC game at ultra settings. at 4.2 T-flops. So, you know, that's a reality. That's water being thrown into people's faces. That's a first party. Now, what's the difference? That's a first party IP game. What do you think Detroit Become Human is going to look like? What do you think Spider-Man is going to look like? What do you think Days Gone? I mean, I can go on and on and on, okay? So, I mean, why? I mean, it's just not that. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of funny that, you know, they're talking about 4K textures and things like that. That's why the PC guys have said, well, we had 4K textures for years. You know, when they talked about games being enhanced, that's fine. I think it's great to be excited about that, but you got to understand, Hitman's been enhanced for a long time on the PlayStation. Madden is already enhanced or 4K right now. You're not getting a 4K Madden until the 9th week of the season. There's 16 weeks in the season. The season is over 60% done, or 57% done when you're able to download stuff. Okay, your players, when you update your roster on Xbox X, okay, you need to listen to this. If you do a complete roster update, you're going to get shamed because you're not going to be able to play with Aaron Rodgers. You're not going to, you know, because he's hurt. You're not going to be able to play with Joe Flacco because he's in concussion protocol because he's hurt. Okay, that's just a reality of the situation. So congratulations, you know, but you're bragging about something that somebody else has already got access to and had access to for months. It is the equivalent of a man walking into a bar with a woman that he thinks the best looking woman on the planet, and every man in that bar has already had her, you know, way before he did. But he thinks his girl is fine. Okay, yeah, everybody else had already had a turn. So, I mean, don't be coming with that nonsense in here. So, yeah, play Hitman. Play Rise of the Tomb Raider. Please play Rise of the Tomb Raider because you all did not buy it. So I hope you guys go buy it now. Don't talk about Laura Croft's hair. Don't talk about how good her scars look. Play the damn game, okay? So, you know, it's just a reality of the situation. Oh, I beat Longshot on Madden, by the way. That was pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. It's like a reality show mixed with, it was good. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, EA does make good single player games. That was actually a good single player game. So, PlayStation Legion plays with crayons, so who cares what they buy? So, but with that said, guys, so let me wrap this up here. Stranger Things is out on Netflix. I suggest everybody go play. Okay. The Xbox attack. Matt's Gaming got attacked by the Xbox community over on his channel. I left the link in the description down there. Assassin's Creed Origin. I spelled that wrong. God, I spelled that wrong. It says Orgins. But Assassin's Creed Origins is a good game, fun to play. They're trying to take on The Witcher. The combat isn't as fluid as The Witcher, but it's still fun. It is still fun. Looks great. Rapid Path Math, Vega architecture on the PlayStation Pro, confirmed with Wolfenstein. It runs great. I streamed it earlier. It's fun. It's a good bloody time, and it's okay to shoot Nazis. Okay, and the first let's see here. The first Halloween Scream stream will be at 3 p.m. today. Shout out to everybody that's going to come by and watch it. Headset on. I will not be able to talk to the people making comments. I will be able to be screaming and yelling because of the game. So, you know, if you're talking about Assassin's Creed, it's not got this 4K. It's not got this texture packs yet. Won't get them till next week on the Xbox. And I assume Wolfenstein is the same way. I don't know. So, but yeah, it looks fine on the Pro. You can play in 4K right now. There is no HDR. They both get an HDR update next week. They both will get an HDR update next week. So you'll get some better popping colors that you all saw today. They already look good. HDR make it look a little bit better. And of course, when you stream on PlayStation, you have a lot of the times when we stream, it'll tell us to turn off the HDR. With the Xbox, you will be able to record and play back in 4K, which is good. Okay, let me make that clear. Now, I know most people don't have 4K TVs. So you know. And yes, 1440p is not 4K. Y'all got to stop it. So yeah, I've got Assassin's Creed Mario. I played it earlier. So yeah, the combat, like I said, I didn't think was that. Again, I only played it for like an hour and 15 minutes. But the combat that I had was a little bit off. It's not as fluid as Witcher, but overall, the game seems pretty cool. I just have to learn how to control that bird and how it sees and there's stuff like that. There's new stuff on there. So Shadow of War, I think, gets a patch next week as well. Oh, damn, you got it Tuesday? Cool. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's a good-looking game. So it is what it is. Is it 4K? Is it checkerboard? It's allegedly, according to the developer, it is dynamic 4K. So, okay. So, but again, so be on the lookout for me at 3 p.m. streaming on YouTube, Hellblade. Yeah. So this with the first annual Halloween Scream stream. I will start that thing at 3 sharp. Okay. I will start broadcasting at 3 sharp. So, and but that is it, guys. I'm going to get on out of here, and I guess I'm going to rest, and I'm going to, the joystick is charging, the headset's charging. So, yeah, but Assassin's Creed and Wolfenstein are worth it. Go buy them, go broke like I did. That's why, XBOTs are on the attack. They came after Matt's Gaming. They came to me. Don't worry, I swatted them away. I got them. And Stranger Things, guys, if you haven't watched that on Netflix, season 1 is really good. I haven't looked at season 2 yet. I'm looking to probably be getting that next week, but for all you folks who are going to watch it, don't spoil it for us that haven't seen it yet, okay? Don't do that, please. Thor Ragnarok comes out next Friday as well. I've seen that. That is a good old fun time. Go check that out. I did see Justice League. I'm under NDA. I can't tell you about that movie until I can't tell you about it until 2 days before the embargo lifts. I'll simply say, if you like Superman, you may like that movie. If you like Batman, you may not watch it. So you're watching it now. Yeah, don't spoil that for me, okay, Robert? I'm gonna watch it next week. For me, I'm gonna go back and see Thor Ragnarok, and then I'm gonna go ahead and come home and watch Stranger Things. So, and that's a reality, folks. So good time. So, all right, guys. Well, I'll see you at 3 o'clock. The ones that want to come by and enjoy the first annual Hollywood Scream stream. And shout out to everybody that came by today. Savage Uger, thanks. Mr. Roof 49, Dion 78, Robert, all you guys, Mr. Reese. I assume it's Mr. Reese. So, and so yeah, I'm streaming for 4 hours, and then later tonight, Porch Light Podcast with J-Dub City, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Central Time. Okay. And we're going to be talking about Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, the iPhone 10, whatever else comes up. So I appreciate everybody being here. Shout out to OBJ, Foxy Games, man, Dark Cloud, Wolf Flow, Matt's Gaming, J Fonz, Porter Rock 77, the Weapon Wheel Podcast, Kid Smooth over there. Appreciate you having me on. Cycle Gamer, One Stop for Gamers, all you guys, Bear Hugger 29. All you guys, Next Gen, thank you, sir. Thank Next Gen for everything he's done. He's been nothing but a trooper. Like I said, All Day Digital, big shout out to him. This everybody, been coming around. All you guys for subbing, all you guys for sharing the content. I mean, like I said, this week has been Christmas. New cell phone, movies if you want them, video games if you want them, or if you're like me, all 3. Now I am PO, can't afford the OR. But check it out. I'm still going to stream because that's what everybody wants to see. Stream, scream, 3 p.m. Craig Harris, Pope of XBOT, holding it down because this game's got a bunch of puzzles. You all take it easy. See you at 3 o'clock, guys. Peace out.